I've been an artist my whole life.
I painted off and on since I was about 10 years old.
I came to painting shortly after retirement.
I started painting in 2017 when we moved to Niagara-on-the-Lake.
Before I joined, I called myself a crafter, not an artist.
I've also dabbled around on the edges of art. I did interior design. I did some little bit of fashion design.
My whole life I've had this desire to paint, but it never seemed to work out.
But I had come to a point along that path, painting path, that I needed some more excitement. I needed some more guidance and enthusiasm.
I came across Acrylic University.
Well, on the internet, I came across Jed Dorsey and his art, and I just loved how filled with life it was.
A friend of mine told me about Acrylic University.
A friend of mine posted on Facebook about this new course started by acrylicuniversity.com.
And I kept seeing on my Facebook feed Jed with his positive attitude and really vibrant, colorful paintings. And I was like, I want to try that.
I joined Acrylic University in December of 2019 and have had so much fun with it ever since.
This past spring, I decided I'm going to go for it. I'm just going to sign up, and I did. And oh my goodness, it is so much more than I thought it was. I mean, I am learning things.
I think the biggest thing I learned is how to use color as value, which I just didn't get before. Jed is a fantastic teacher. He's very encouraging and uplifting.
I love that he doesn't feel higher than me. He's just like right there with me and wants to see us all succeed.
His great system for teaching, I mean, this is how he makes his living, but he is sharing how he gets there and making it possible for other people to get there too, if you're willing to put in the work. So this has really changed everything. This is what I've been looking for.
I'm just amazed at how much I'm learning and how much this course has meant to me.
It has really been life-changing for me. I don't know, it's just a great feeling of the community and taking care of our fellow artists.
It has created a sense of confidence in color mixing, composition, trying new ways to look at things.
What I love about Acrylic University is the community.
The online community has been very affirming and encouraging.
I really enjoy the community that there is online. I've never met any of them in person, and yet I feel like I have lifelong friends.
I believe Acrylic University is a path to success.
More about having this creative outlet to learn and to grow.
I can't tell you how much I would recommend Acrylic University to anyone who wants to paint, who wants to paint better, who wants to start painting. This is something I've been looking for my whole life, and that's a long time, in case you can't tell I love you. So thank you to all of you.
It has moved me so much further than I could ever have dreamed along my art journey, and it was totally worth the investment. So if there's anybody out there that is wondering, is this the right move for me? I highly encourage it. You won't regret it.
Seriously, I wish I had done this sooner.
You won't be disappointed.
Everything is just so worth the investment. So hope to see you in the community soon, and happy painting.
Hey friends, you are amazing, lions, courageous, bold painters. Thank you for joining us again today. It is Tuesday and we've got a special treat today. We have our good friend Dianna Shyne. She's going to come on in just a little bit and she's going to do a demonstration for us. It's going to be fantastic because I've been looking at some of the comments in the stream saying I'm looking forward to Dianna. I haven't seen her paint yet. This is a really wonderful opportunity where you'll see her start to finish with a demo, and it's going to be awesome. And my good friend Peter Stout is here in the house with me. Peter.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome
and guess
to
what?
Today's session.
Guess what? We got Peter's camera working today.
We do. You can see my face. Good morning, everybody.
Look at that.
Hey.
Look at that.
It's been a while.
What is up? Peter Stout is in the house.
It has been a while.
You thought for a while that he was just some really sophisticated AI program that had a deep voice and could speak at. Nope, he's a real person. He's person.
Surprising.
Oh man, it's good to see you, bro.
Yeah, good to see you too. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Marta.
So looking good.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
We were thinking about holding this out for tomorrow because it would be like another prize for the celebration tomorrow. It's getting Peter, but this is like an early prize for you guys. So anyways, I wanted to take a minute here and just go over a few things because we've got a full slate today. We've got 3 amazing members of Acrylic University that are going to be interviewed. Dianna is going to do her demonstration. And so we want to get right into that. But I want to just take a minute here because I've got some news about how you're going to actually enter to win a prize on Wednesday. So this is really important. So pay attention to this. I have updated the dashboard. I'll show you right here what I'm talking about. Peter, want to make my screen go big here for a second?
Absolutely.
So if you go to the dashboard, like you know, we've got everything here for you, right? Start at the top. Here's where we are. This is Dianna's demo that's happening right now. But right underneath it, you see this. Enter to win final prizes. Now, if you click on this, it's going to take you to a form. I'll show you what it is. It's a survey. And this is for us because we get so much out of your feedback. We need your help. This time around, I think we did a better job than we did the first time around. And in large part, it's because of your feedback. You helped us create a better experience. But I know that there are still things that we could improve on, and we would love to get your feedback here. So this is how you actually enter. If you come here, there's just some really basic questions here that you can fill out, go all the way through, and it's like pretty simple. It's not going to take you too long. There are a couple things at the end where you could type out a little more if you have some ideas. What could we do to improve? And is there anything else you'd like to let us know? And here's the deal. When you click on this right here, watch this. It's going to take you to this. And this is where you don't have to do this at all, but if you're willing to do us a big favor, we would appreciate your help. And I say here, I'm looking for some lines. So this is another chance to be bold and courageous and come in here and go like, you know what? I'm willing to do it. And it's okay. If you don't feel up to it, that's okay. But what you have here is an opportunity to do a video testimony for us. We'd love that because it would help, just like these testimonies from people help you make a better, more informed decision. When we're doing another masterclass in the future, your feedback on the masterclass, if it's made a difference to you, if it's helped you, encouraged you, your testimony is going to be worth 1,000 of my time saying, yeah, it's really good. Because of course, my word is, I'm the one who organized it and all that kind of stuff, but your word is like your experience through it. And you come down all the way to the bottom. There's different ideas here of how you can, like answer these questions and just work through those. But all you have to do is press this little record video button. It will actually record it for you. You can upload your own video if you want to create your own video, but it's very simple, straightforward here, and it just has some helpful information for you. All of that, of course, is on the dashboard. You can find it on the dashboard right here underneath this, where you'll click that button. It'll take you to the survey. And last but not least, we've been excited to be welcoming lots of new members, and we're thrilled. Thank you for joining, you guys who are new. We're so excited, and we're looking forward to just taking the next steps in this journey together. And I just want to point out a couple things here because it's been cool. We've been having people take us up on all these different offers. The monthly, the annual, the lifetime, and we've been having people do some of these payment plans, and we've also been having people apply for scholarships. And all of those are incredibly good options. If you are unsure what I say, and I'll say it again just real briefly, is that we take the risk. There's 100% guarantee. Worst case scenario, sign up for a month. If it's not good, 29 days, 23 hours, write us an email and say, you know what, it's not all that's cracked up to be, and we'll refund your money. You didn't lose anything, and there's no commitment to it. Hey, if it turns out to be awesome, you might say you want to upgrade and you want to be all in for life or whatever, but you don't have to make any commitment like that with us right now. So enough of that. I'm ready to turn it back over to Peter and to Dianna. Dianna is going to do an amazing demonstration for us. And the way it's going to work is we're going to bring her on here at the start. She's going to introduce what she's doing, and then she's basically going to paint silently in the background. So if you do have questions for her specifically, you can ask them, but we're not going to ask her anything during the conversations that we're having. She's going to be painting in the background, but we will bring her back at the end of the time. So if you have any questions for her that you saw, that will be your chance to ask them at the very end. Anyways, enough about that. Peter, you want to bring Dianna forward?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. There we go.
Hi, everyone.
Dianna, so good to have you, and thank you. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about what you're doing?
Yeah, I've got the reference photo right up beside me, and this is a doorway I saw when I was teaching a class in Tuscany, and I was sort of missing that warm, lovely, dry air here in cool, damp Oregon. And I loved the colors, and I loved the flow of the composition. So I'm going to be painting this. I'm going to start with some cooler, darker colors underneath. I have a sketch already done on my board. Then I'm going to work my way up to the lighter, brighter colors. So if it looks kind of dull and boring at the beginning, I promise you I'll get to the good stuff in a bit. Shall I switch over now?
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that reference photo. It's so beautiful.
I have a couple of extra colors. I don't know, it's pretty tiny scrolling across the bottom of the screen. The main extra color is quinacridone burnt orange. I have it here in a thick, the heavy body gel, and I have it in a thin. I'm going to do a wash in that to begin with. So do you want me to get started and I'll shut up and start painting?
That you can start, and that's great. Yeah, thank you, Dianna, for doing to have you. And
great, it's so great to be here.
I'm gonna let Peter kind of take over and handle the interviews, and I'll be here to talk too. But we're excited to watch you paint.
Sounds great.
Thank you. This is exciting to get to paint. I'm so happy.
Yeah,
okay.
Dianna, I saw your comments in the stream yesterday. You said something like somebody asked you if you always paint to sell, and you said something like, no, I paint because I have to, or something like that.
Right. I used to paint to sell, and that did not work. People didn't like those paintings, and I didn't either. I paint what I love when I love it, and if it doesn't sell, I have it. It's mine and I love it. So that's the main thing is you just paint from your heart and paint because you love what's there, and everything else will fall into place.
All right,
Best
awesome.
advice.
So if you guys were here with us yesterday, we had 3 of our members with us, and they did a little interview where they answered questions and talked about their journey as artists and stuff like that. So we have 3 more members with us today who are going to hang out with us and answer some questions and hopefully be an encouragement to you guys. And yeah, without further ado, I'm going to welcome Christy with us.
Hi.
Hey, Christy. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. So,
Christy, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
yeah, thank you so much. So, Christy, do you just want to tell us a little bit about who you are and where you're from and whatever else you want to add to that?
All right. I'm from Delaware, and I'm an artist working as a moderator or therapist, physical therapist sometimes. And I'm a mother of 3. And by the way, back to the moderating part, it's been really nice to meet all the new members in the master class. And I wanted to thank them for sharing their art and introducing themselves too.
Thank you for doing that. Yeah, Christy's one of the moderators, so you've probably seen her and seen her comments, and we're so thankful for you guys. Man.
I'm glad to help.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. So, Christy, what was your art journey like before joining Acrylic University?
Before Acrylic University, I didn't really have an art journey. I think I painted a couple painting with a twist paintings, and just one lion painting, which is behind me. I don't know if you can really see it back there.
Oh, yeah, I kind of see it there in the background.
Yeah. So there's not much to say about before Acrylic University.
Gotcha.
Before you're saying, well, did you paint at all? Wait, I kind of missed that. But what did you say? You said there's not much to say, but wasn't much.
Well, I tried to paint, but I didn't know what I was doing, so I just kind of gave up.
It felt discouraging, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what caused you to join Acrylic University, and how did you find out about it and all that stuff?
Well, I don't know if you guys talked about healing as part of your art journey.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for doing art kind of that way, like for just for doing something for myself, and so I was looking online, and I saw Jed painting the black canvas, kind of like the one that I did end up doing, that lion.
Yeah.
It's just a black canvas.
Yeah.
And then it was a dream that I just painted the lion. So then when I saw Jed's canvas turn from black to like all this light that he does, and I kind of looked him up, and I took the Acrylic 101 course. And then I was having technical difficulty, and then I asked Peter for help, and Peter, you were just like really helpful, and I appreciated that, because it's very rare these days that when you reach out and there's actually somebody there. And it was funny because it was a text and it was really late at night, and I didn't really expect any help till the next day, but you were like there, so it's really awesome.
I'm so glad I was able to help you. Yeah, that was probably when my hours were all crazy.
I was like, oh my gosh, they're available now. Where are they?
Yeah. Oh, it's the middle of the night? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I was frustrated with my computer. I couldn't get back logged in, and I was like, I finally found something I like, and I can't get on there.
I know. It's such a bummer. Well, I'm so glad that I was able to help you out and you were able to get involved with us. So, and you were talking about you were looking for art as some sort of healing or something like that. Yeah. Do you want to go into detail with that or no?
Well, I think it's important to not just for just telling my story, but like just because of the statistics I learned about during that time, is that 1 in 3 households are dealing with some form of abuse in their life, in their lifetime. And I thought that was a really high number, and it's just like I didn't know until I learned that. And so I think that the more people talk about it, and there's a lot of people watching, and if it's 1 in 3 households, there must be people out there that are similar. I'm sorry, I'm nervous.
No, that's, I mean, so I know I think about that every once in a while, Christy, and I want to just say, first of all, thank you for being willing to share something that's vulnerable and hard. I think that's what makes it so difficult, is that because it's a painful thing and it feels very vulnerable, so many times we never share, we never reach out, we never get healing, we never find anybody else who might be able to help us or might share their journey, because it's hard. It's so hard. And so we just are so thankful that you're willing to share courageously. And it's mind blowing sometimes when I think about statistics like that, because 1 out of 3 households dealing with abuse, domestic abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, some kind of abuse. I mean, that affects all of us, So thank you for being willing to open up.
Thanks for getting serious sometimes. Like, you guys are always funny and like positive, but you're also real, and you can get real personal, and it's just been like a mind, body, spirit experience for the last year being a part of AU.
Yeah, for sure. And
go ahead, Peter.
I just wanted to say, like, thank you for sharing and feeling free to kind of be vulnerable. I know there's I feel a little stressed out too myself, so to share something vulnerable is like a big step, so I'm really proud of you. But also one thing, I kind of feel that too, like what Jeb was talking about, because I live in an area where there's a lot of that going on all the time, and it's pretty evident. Like, we have cops here all the time for domestic abuse calls and stuff like that, and it really like breaks my heart. And I've seen like stuff like that happen firsthand all over like where I am, and it really breaks my heart. So I, like Jed said, I definitely have a heart for that, and I feel like it's not talked about much either. Like, for example, during COVID, like domestic abuse cases like skyrocketed.
Oh yeah, it went way up.
Yeah.
And like that kind of stuff is never talked about. It's always I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Jed, but
well, I was just going to ask, so at some point you were trying to say, hey, could art be helpful for me, or could art be an outlet for me? Tell us a little bit about what you were looking for.
I was looking for doing something for myself for once, and even though I didn't really have any like real life places to do it, not real life, but like in my immediate like environment to do that, it was great to have the online support and community, and just having just something to watch. Even just watching you guys paint is fun, or like Friday Night Lives, and just trying to get my mind off things and do something for myself and know that I'm worthy to learn art like I always did want to ever since I was a kid. So just taking the time and spending time on something it's therapeutic, and it's also I'm learning skills, so that's good too, and something to be proud of. And
absolutely, that's
Man.
awesome. Kimberly Jackson.
Christy, go ahead, Peter.
Kimberly Jackson, she says, been there before, was living in it for 5 years before I was able to get out. Yeah,
I knew there had to be at least one person if it's 1 in 3. And
I'm sure there's several.
I feel like you can't talk about an art journey unless you talk about a healing journey too, because I'm even inspired by Jed's story too, and his sharing his just turning darkness into light. I just love that whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, see, Tracy, who I spent 10 years in it, even though it was a long time ago, I can still remember it so painfully. Yeah.
Sheesh.
And your self-esteem is different, and you're just like a different person. And then when you have all the encouragement in the group, and like you're getting better at something, and you're spending time at something you enjoy, like you just change. You get more confident, more lion-like.
There you go.
Oh man. Well, Christy, like when I hear you say that, or when I just hear you talking, like, honestly, like I have tears in my eyes, and I just am so proud of you, and I'm so thankful. Like, I mean, I just think it never ceases to amaze me when anything that we do would ever make any difference in anybody's life. Like, it honestly is mind blowing to me. But I just want to say thank you for your courage. I'm just excited for you. I'm excited. I know a little bit. Renee shared a little bit, about some of what you're looking forward to or kind of like thinking about right now and stuff. And I just I'm so excited for you. So anyway,
Yeah, absolutely. Excuse me. So what is your art journey like now, and how has Acrylic University made a difference?
So my art journey now is I'm painting all the time. So you guys send the mini challenge on Friday, and I get all excited and I get into it right away.
Mm-hmm.
And then also the Friday, all the interviews that you guys have of the artists, I watch them and learn about their different skills and techniques. And that's another thing with Dianna, watching her and Jed. It's like one extreme to the other, and it's just it's so fun to watch and learn from. And then even the kickstarts, like the themes you guys are having. If I don't really know what to paint, well, this month we're doing, beaches, so that's what I'm gonna paint this month. It just gets that part out of the way. It gets me started instead of procrastinating.
That's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, and if I don't want to do that other live stuff, the journey, then I can go into the library and work on my tree module. Which I keep saying I'm going to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a whole spread of content for whatever kind of mood you're in or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. So what would you tell to someone who is considering joining Acrylic University?
I would say if you're thinking that you're not worthy of spending the time or money on this, that you need to question that thought and that belief and kind of argue against it, because you are worthy. And it is it's of high value. You're not just getting a book or a tutorial. You're not getting a product or a service. You're getting a full experience, a life-changing experience, an authentic experience, and you just get out of it what you want to get out of it. And I can't wait to meet you.
That's awesome. I know. So Christy, I want to hear a little bit, because now you had told Renee or written something that said you were like what you were thinking about right now. Can you share a little bit about that? Like where you're at in your journey?
Yeah, so I'm going to have a business where I can help people and use art therapy as a modality, like help them heal.
Oh, wow. That is so cool.
And are you going back to school?
Yes.
For what?
For business.
Oh, that's so cool. That's awesome, Christy. That is so cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, we wish you the best of luck with that. You're gonna have to keep us updated on that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So if I can kind of summarize what you're saying is you were in an abusive relationship in a place that was so hard. You were looking for something that you could do for yourself, having maybe gotten out of that or some, but you were starting to think about art as just kind of a thing. You started maybe seeing how it was helpful, how there was something that you could do. Now you're going back to school to want to with the goal of starting a business that will help other people with their whatever they're going through. It will be kind of tied with art therapy, and it will be a way of helping other people through their journey and through their story. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, all because of you.
That is so
awesome.
incredible. I mean,
Yeah.
and we're just overjoyed. And I don't know how we can support you, Christy, in that. Like but I want to. Like that's what I just want you to know that we want to support you in that. We want to. Well, I'm glad that you feel like that, and so yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. If you ever need anything, don't hesitate to reach out, and we'll we'd be happy to help.
Thank you.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to add, Christy?
Just thanks for listening, I guess. If it helps.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us.
Christy, we're like I said it before, we're super proud of you. We're so thankful for you, and we are on your side. We're rooting for you. Yeah. And I'm starting to cry, so stop.
I was trying to hold it back the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for real, thank you for being here. And I know that there's somebody out there that you may not know, we may not hear from, who knows, maybe they will reach out, but that you're being willing to share that part of your journey is going to help somebody, right? Even today. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Comments, go Christy. Thank you for sharing, Christy. We admire you so much, Christy. Good for you. Go for it. Thank you for sharing. So courageous. Go
Thanks,
Christy.
everybody.
Thank you, Christy. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring on the next person here, but thank you so much, Christy.
See you around the community.
Bye, Christy.
Yeah. Awesome. So guys, wasn't that amazing? That was so awesome to hear. Next, I'm going to bring up Marta. She's another member from our community, and we'll get a talk with her. So Laura says, that's why I call art my antidepressant. Heck yeah. I love that. Christy, best of luck. You're in a good place now. Stay there. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm going to go ahead and bring on Marta. Hi, Marta.
Hello, everybody. Hi.
Hey.
I just wanted to add my appreciation for Christy's message. That is so important to be able to get out of a situation and to make a new life for oneself. Congratulations, Christy.
I agree. I like what she said about, and I think somebody echoed this, what she said about she was looking for something to do for herself. And that's super important. And I know somebody or somebody echoed that in chat. They were like, something like, you deserve this, or it's important to do something for yourself, so that's awesome. And yeah, Marta, how are you doing?
Definitely. Well, I'm doing really well this morning. I'm really excited to be. This is so new for me.
Awesome. Well, we are so glad to have you. Yeah. So, Marta, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from, and then we'll jump into it?
Well, the Shuswap area, that's in British Columbia. I'm about 5 minutes walk from Lake Shuswap. If you look on a map, it looks chromosome. So it's got a lot of very feminine vibrations to it. It's a beautiful area. I've come into acrylic paintings through the back door. I started up my art career, my art hobby, because I have a career as a potter. And I've been a potter for 18 years. And
wow.
I've loved it. But as time went on, my back was hurting more and more and more. And so I had to potter. And then I went into water. And watercolor was very hard for me because I was a three-dimensional kind of person, and watercolor is two-dimensional, as is acrylics. But little by little, I spent quite a bit of time with watercolor, about 7 or 8 years. And I sort of got used to that two-dimensional thing. And then we moved to Blind Bay here. And I joined a group of painters here. And unfortunately, they were mostly painters. And when they were doing shows, had this section where they were doing a group show on this topic. And they had a standard format of the size of canvas and everything, and watercolor just wasn't fitting into it. And so I said to myself, oh, why not? And I had no idea what I'm doing with acrylics. And so I did acrylics. I painted that first painting as if it were watercolor, lots of water in it, thin painting. I liked what it's doing, but really I didn't know what I was doing. And from there I went on, and I wasn't all that excited about painting anymore. I did 2 paintings a year. It took me forever. I had to look for information on how to do things with acrylics. I remember I called Golden to find out how I could blend acrylics, and they were very informative. They called me back and they told me a few suggestions, which was nice, but it took time. That one particular painting that I'm talking about took me 9 months to paint. And
that's all it takes
I was getting very discouraged. 9 months. Yeah. Anyway, and then of course COVID came in, and the pandemic. I get very emotionally involved in things, and so I was just bewildered. I found myself isolated, and then one day I was playing a game on my pad, on my tablet, and Jed popped up with a commercial for the first master class. And I thought, sounds good, and kept on playing my game. And the next time Jed popped up, I thought, well, this guy looks okay. And so I thought about it a little more and kept on playing my game. And then the third time Jed popped up, I said, okay, that's time. I'm going to have to do something about this.
Yeah.
And, I figured I can't lose. I don't like the master class. I just click it off, right? And go back to my game. Anyway, yeah, that was a really, that's the way I came into acrylics.
That is so funny. So what game were you playing?
You know what, Jed? I don't remember. I have no idea what game it was.
That
but
was
I
an
do
important
remember
game.
your commercial. It was an important game for both of us, I think.
That is funny.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you came.
Yeah, that is fantastic. So
am I.
Yeah, we are so glad to have you. You answered the first 2 questions you went right through them. That's awesome. So what is your art journey like now, and how has the masterclass and Acrylic University, made a difference in your painting?
Well, the masterclass made a huge difference in my painting. First painting, I'm talking about the September masterclass, the one you did. The first painting I did was absolutely horrible. But then I started realizing, I mean, it was horrible as a result painting. But when I look back at what I learned through that painting, it was a wonderful experience. First of all, I learned that I don't pour water into my acrylics. That was probably the most important thing.
Yeah.
And then I sort of started to get a feel for the acrylics. And then the painting was a lot better.
Uh-huh.
And by the third painting, I was hooked. I was just totally hooked. The community played a really big role in all of that, and so I signed up for 1 year, and then I went into, as soon as I got in and everything, and as soon as I went to the library, I was just overwhelmed by the amount of material there. And so I started to look at some of the modules, and I thought, man, I'll never go through 1 year. So
Awesome. That is so cool.
Yeah, amazing. We're so thankful for you, Marta. And I think what I think is I just think it's so cool how, you know, like I feel like what I like about the masterclass is that we are trying to kind of like open the doors to let people in. We want you to have a good experience, and we want you to feel a little bit of like what it would be like to be part of Acrylic University. And it's really cool because that's kind of what you just described, is like you came in, you saw, you experienced some things, you learned some things, and then you were like, I like this, and I'll give it a, it's kind of like a little step. Like one little step is taking the masterclass. The next little step is, saying maybe there's something in this for me. I know I could,
yeah,
whatever. And so anyways, I love hearing. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll shut up.
No, I think it might be your connection, Marta, because your little internet or your connection bar went down a bit there for a second. Can you hear us okay now? Looks like we might be having connection issues. Good to see you, Peter. Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Hey, Marta, if you can hear us okay, just give us like a thumbs up or something like that, and we can keep going. If not, if we're having connection problems, we can just skip the end. I can't seem to find the tool that Dianna is using. It's a color shaper, I believe. Pretty sure she got it for like $2. Catherine Hawking saw Jed doing a demo for Blick. That's where I found him. You remember those demos, Jed?
Yeah, they were fun.
Yeah, they were. It's nice to have you on in person. I know, isn't it awesome? It's able to get it figured out, and we kind of adjusted some of our processes a little bit, so that was cool. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, no worries. I think we'll probably just move on to Shannon then in that case, because there's not much we can do about the connection, unfortunately.
Marta, thank you for. It seems kind of like there's a delay too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something with the connection.
Yeah. Well, Marta, I just want to say thank you for joining us today. Thank you for being part of Acrylic University, and thank you for sharing your part of your journey with us. And we're super thankful that you got on with the third try, the third ad that came in front of you. And anyways, we're really thankful for you. And sorry that the internet connection isn't working.
I know,
well
that's a
enough
bummer.
that we can carry on the conversation.
All right. Bye, Marta. I don't know if she'll be able to see it, but
yeah.
Oh, that sucks. That's okay. That's okay. So I'm just going to really quick see if there's any questions or anything like that. Dianna won't be able to hear us right now, guys. So we can't ask her questions directly right now, but we can have a little bit of Q&A time at the end. Doesn't look like there are any questions. She's using a color shaper, and you can get, like somebody was saying, you can get a pack of 5 for $4.99. You can get it, Renee. Yeah, you can buy color shapers at Blick Online or at any art store. So, yeah, we can't hear Marta. Yeah, we had something went up with the connection. So, yeah, I think I don't think there are any questions. Without further ado, I guess we'll move on to Shannon. We have one more awesome lady with us who's going to ask some questions, or I'm going to ask her some questions. She's going to talk with us for a little bit. So we'll go ahead and bring Shannon on. Hi, Shannon.
Hi. Can you hear?
Yes, we can. We can hear you loud and clear. So.
Okay, good. Because I was thinking the connection thing was me. I don't know. So hopefully we're good.
Yeah, I think it was on Marta's end, unfortunately. I feel bad because I don't know if she knows that she's not on anymore.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah. But awesome. So how are you doing, Shannon?
I'm good. Yeah. You want to know a little bit of me, I guess?
Yes, we would love that.
Yeah, I live in Canada, in British Columbia, sort of a teeny tiny town, sort of in the middle of the province, called Birch Island, but that's what it's called, so we'll go with that. I have a wonderful husband and 2 grown-up kids, and yeah, we like traveling and adventuring and camping and all that fun stuff. And now I do art. So yeah, it's good.
Awesome. Sounds pretty good to me. Is that one of your paintings back there behind you?
That is a photo that my daughter took. So yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
It's not one of mine.
Yeah, I was curious because I was like, dang, that's a really nice looking painting.
That's a photograph. That's a printed photo.
Gotcha. So what was your art journey like before joining Acrylic University?
Okay. From the time I was really little, I always wanted to be an artist, like always, like that was my thing, like I was always coloring, drawing, painting, that question, like, what are you going to be when you grow up? And I'm like, it was artist, like it was never anything else. Like there was no plan B, that's what I was going to be. And so, yeah, like I did, lots of, like I just loved it. I did all like, coloring contests when you're a kid, like color the bunny at the grocery store, that sort of thing. Like that was, I just was so in love with art. And when I was 10, my mom took me to get oil painting lessons, right? So that was super exciting, because we went to the real art supply store where real artists go, and we got them all set up, and she spent a fortune and we didn't have a lot of money, so there was a lot of pressure, and I was gonna make her proud, because now I can be a real artist because I have these real oil paints, and this was it. I was on track, you know, like,
Yeah.
and I had one lesson, and after that I was, you know, on my own, you know, but it was good, you know, like all through school I took art classes, and I really think that I gained, like, I don't know, mostly just good, decent drawing skills more than anything out of school, because, you know, like when you're going to like public school in a small town, like they don't have a lot of supplies to keep like however many kids like painting all year long or whatever. So it was a lot of like, here's a paper and a pencil and let's work on perspective today, and like let's draw some cubes in space, you know, like that sort of thing. And so I did a lot of that, so which I'm actually grateful for today, because it's been quite helpful. In high school, I really lucked out and got like this amazing art teacher. Like he was like the first like professional artist that like I had ever met, you know, like he had like actual paintings hanging in like actual galleries in places like Toronto and stuff like that. And I was like, wow, like what is he doing in my small town? Like I still have no idea what he was doing here, but I was like so grateful for that experience. Like he was he does like a lot of like oil painting, but like extreme hyper realistic Canadian landscapes, like stuff that would like blow your mind, right? And I was like, wow, you know, like he was teaching me how to paint in his method, and I was like, I felt like I was like an apprentice, right? You know, and like it was like these multiple layers of like thin oil paint, you know, like mixed with like a quick drying medium, like glazes, and so it was very tedious, and like you could see every blade of grass, you know, like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was doing that, and I was like excited, and like he believed in me, you know, like he said, like, look, you have what it takes, and he said, you don't need art school. And I'm like, you know, like I don't know if he had a jaded view of his own experience or whatever, but I was like 17. And, you know, and he's like, yeah, don't go to art school. They'll just, you know, like take your money and mess with your head and teach you a bunch of stuff that you don't even need to know. And I was like, I don't know. Okay. Like, cool. You know, like I'll save some money.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I didn't go. And I got married and I started a family, and, you know, it was just like, I tried to keep up with art. But when you have small, you know, babies, it's hard to do that.
I'm sure.
And plus, like, we live in a 900 square foot house, and so like the fumes from the oil paints and that sort of thing it just wasn't working. And the the little bottle of the glazing medium styles, I think it was called Liquin. It was like a quick drying whatever that I was using for painting. It was like, you know, it has like the skull and crossbones on it, and like the big label that says like, if you drink this, you will die. You know, I'm like, I have to have this in the house with my babies. You know, like, so all of it just had to go. Like I couldn't, I can't do this like right now. So, yeah. So like, I was like, well, what do I do now? You know, like I don't even know. And I'd found. You know, like I think they were like water mixable oil paints. So like you can just clean them with like soap and water or whatever. I thought that would be better. And so, yeah, I was using those for a while. And I don't know, like I just didn't have very many finished paintings, you know, because I would just get stuck, you know, like there was stuff like I couldn't figure out how to do on my own, you know, and there was nobody to help me, you know, like no YouTube or whatever. And it's just like really hard. And I remember like this one time I was like trying to paint this picture of my daughter, and she had like, she was like a year old, and she's like crouching down beside a lake, like dipping her fingers in the water, and it was making these like ripples in the water. I was like, what? I'm like, oh, I'm gonna paint this. It's gonna be awesome, you know. And I started, and I got like halfway through, and like I was trying to paint the ripples, and I physically couldn't get the paint to do what I wanted it to do, you know, and this was like the focal point of my painting, and I couldn't get it, and I couldn't get it. And I ended up making like this huge, terrible, muddy mess, and it was like so frustrating for me. It's like, I can't do this. Like, I can't do this. Like, and, like right around the same time, I was reading like in an art magazine or something. It was like an article called, it was titled something like "Real Artists Don't Use Black." And I'm like, wait, what? You know, like I'd never heard this before, you know, like, and then they were saying, you know, like if you mix black into your colors, you know, you're just going to end up like, your painting's going to be like dull and lifeless. And I was like, you know, I'm like looking at this painting of my daughter, and I'm like, well, I used black in her sweater, and I used black in her little pink shirt, and I used black in her blue jeans. And I'm like, looking at it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, like this is dull and lifeless. Like, they're right. Like, this is garbage, you know? And it's like, and I was thinking, you know, like I have used black in literally every painting I had ever done since I was 10 years old and took that first oil painting lesson. And I'm like, all of my paintings that I've ever done is apparently garbage, you know? and I just got to this point where I was just like crushed, and I'm like, I can't do this, you know, like, like, and nobody could help me. And people would say, like, your paintings are beautiful, you know, like, stop being such a perfectionist, you know, like, I wish I could paint like that. And like, I get, they were, you know, it's like, thank you for that. Like, truly, like, I appreciate that. But like, it didn't really help me to move forward, you know, like I was still like stuck, like I just got stuck and nobody could help me. And the only way I can sort of think to describe that is like, if you are putting on like a jacket, like with zipper, and like if that zipper is going to get stuck, it doesn't always get stuck like right at the bottom, like right at the beginning. Like, you can zip that zipper like halfway up or up to your chest or whatever, and it's just, it gets stuck, and there's nothing you can do. People will be like, don't worry, you're good or whatever. And I'm like, yes, but like, I feel like my zipper has the potential to keep going. It's just like, I need somebody that knows how to like fix this. And there was just nobody. Like, I had no teacher, there was no workshops, there was no like I was all by myself, and I couldn't do it. And what I ended up doing was just, you know, like I just like pulled the sweater off over my head and stuffed it in the back of the closet. And really, that's where it's been for the last like 25 years, you know? And
wow. So this is so interesting, Shannon. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So who was the artist that you learned from in high school?
That's what I was gonna ask too.
Oh, sure. Yeah, his name is Gary Aylward. Aylward.
Okay,
so
cool.
I think after he left Clearwater, I think he moved to like Salt Spring Island or somewhere, you know, where all the artists go and live.
Yeah.
But so I think he's done a lot of like ocean scenes, West Coast stuff since then, but I don't really know. Like, that was a lot of years ago. And so yeah.
Wow.
Gary Aylward, awesome artist.
I just want to real quick bring up a couple of his paintings on screen so you guys can see what she's talking about when she says hyper realistic.
Yeah.
These are insane in their level of detail. Just gonna save a couple and then throw them up on screen for you guys.
I also know exactly what you're talking about with the oil thinners and the liquid and all that stuff. It's crazy sometimes. You don't really think about like looking at the label or whatever, but if you look at it, you're like, oh wow, this is not necessarily what I want to be around all the time.
Yeah.
So this is one of his paintings.
Whoa.
That and then so there's that, and then this is the first one I saw, and it looked like a picture. It actually looked like a photo.
Cool.
Incredible. I mean, just look at the amount of detail. I can't even wrap my head around how you would begin to paint something like that.
It's probably quite a large painting too, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it takes a really long time.
Yeah. It says 300.5 by 84 inches. Oil on canvas.
Yeah.
Is that.
So what's interesting about that is that it probably isn't. I mean, it is very detailed, but like when you get something that massive, even fairly decent sized brushstrokes look really small when you scale it down like that. So it's kind of crazy. Like, but that's pretty awesome. So he was in Clearwater, where you were.
Where I was. He was my art teacher for I think about 3 years, so I was pretty lucky.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I just got so frustrated with not being able to learn what I felt I needed to learn. Like I couldn't keep going when I just felt so stuck, you know, like, so I ended up just like, I don't even want to, you know, it's like I just pushed art completely away, and I just focused on my family. You know, I homeschooled my kids, and we had like tons of fun adventures. We, you know, but art really wasn't a part of my life. It's not something that I did on any type of regular basis or anything. Like I didn't even buy like art magazines anymore, you know, because they were just like filled with like successful, so, you know, like a lot of them my age, you know, just telling me, you know, exactly what I don't know. And, you know, like, it's just like, you know, like real artists, you know, like they don't struggle like I do. And, you know, real artists don't like, they just know what to do, and real artists can finish a blinking painting, you know. It's like, and I just I'm not like a real artist. Like, who am I kidding? You know? And it's just like, so yeah, like that's my journey up until like last fall. Like that was it.
It was this very like curated image of what an artist's journey is like, kind of. Yeah.
So, and you were just stuck. So I can't wait to hear what happened then. What
caused
happened?
what caused you to join acrylic university?
Yeah. Okay. My youngest daughter graduated from university, and she landed her dream job, and I came like, okay, well now what? You know, like everybody had their thing, and I didn't have a thing. You know, it's like what do I do now? You know, I thought like I could go get a job or whatever, but it's just such a small town, and by the time like I drive anywhere and do my job and drive all the way back home, it's like I'd just be like spending my paycheck on gas money getting back and forth. Like it really wouldn't be worth it. So I was thinking like, well, is there anything I can do like from home? You know, like, do I have any skills or talents that I could use to like make money? And I'm like, well, besides like the art thing, because like I had already like decided with myself, you know, like that was impossible, because, you know, like as far as I was concerned, like I'm still stuck, like unless some miracle happens, you know, out of the blue, like I don't know, like that still wasn't an option for me. Like I can't make paintings or sell paintings if I can't
build, like physically build the paintings, you know, because it was, I don't know, like I had not even been around art for so long. It's like, I hadn't even looked at painting. So I'm like, well, you know, like if this is what I'm supposed to do, you know, like I should at least like maybe like look at some art, because like, I don't even know what's out there. I don't know what people are painting, what's going on, you know? And so I was like, I don't know, like I went onto Instagram and I just like typed in like hashtag landscape paintings, you know, like, well, maybe I could, like slowly reintroduce myself and just like, you know, be able to look at a painting and scroll, you know, like, well, that wasn't so bad, you know, like that sort of thing. And yeah, like that's just where I just scrolled upon some artist called Jed Dorsey and something called Radiant Landscape Masterclass. And yeah, I was like, well, I don't know, maybe this is like an opportunity or whatever, and I should just say yes to it. And so that's what I did. I signed up. And like I had never, you know, I had never used acrylic paints before. Like I didn't know anything about them. So I was like, the masterclass started and I was just like, I dove right in, and it was, for me, it was like intense, you know, because like I was trying so hard to do like the challenges and whatever. And it was like, the paint was so weird, you know, it was like glass and it wasn't blending. And I'm like, what is this? And it was just so hard. And, you know, it took me like the full day and a half or whatever. And I was like submitting my paintings within like 2 minutes of the deadline, like every time, but I did it, you know, like I did it. It was like, it's like, oh, it was so hard. But the feedback that I got from the group, like, was like, I wasn't expecting that, you know, it's like they were really positive. And I'm like, like these were real artists, you know, in this group. And they were saying like nice things about my work. And they weren't telling me like my work needed help or my work is terrible or, you know, like
or
that
you're
I
not
don't
a real
know
artist
what
for
I'm
using
doing.
black or something.
And the instructor was saying things like, we love you, we believe in you. And that has such an impact on someone who has been telling themselves the exact opposite for such a long time. And I was like, I need this in my life, you know, like I need this for my spirit. I need this for my self-esteem. It's like whoever dreamed up Acrylic University, like they dreamed it up like just for me, you know, like it was like everything that I never knew I needed, like all in one place. And it's like, that was it. Like, here I am, you know, I'm in.
Wow.
That is awesome. That is so cool, Shannon. Thank you for sharing that. That is
You're
awesome.
welcome.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to all, like everybody involved in the masterclass, all you guys that joined, for helping create that positive environment that she was talking about at the beginning. And like we try to cultivate that here at Acrylic University, but like literally we find all of these strangers who have never seen Acrylic University before, and they come into this group and they make it this incredibly positive experience. And I don't know if there's something about artists that are just have a very like positive, encouraging disposition or what, but you guys are amazing. And so thank you so much to everybody who makes the masterclass so positive and encouraging. And
I totally wholeheartedly second that. And we that's like our greatest hope. I mean, Shannon, like hearing you say that again, like these are totally unexpected revelations to me, where I'm like, oh my goodness, like. But you know what's interesting? I was saying this to our team this morning, you know, because we're just reflecting a little bit on the interviews from yesterday, and I just think it's interesting because what we find a lot of times is that people will join because they see the specific courses, or they see, I want to learn about this, and they have an idea of what they want to get that's really specific to skills and, learning techniques or different things like that. But what often happens is like, it's the other stuff. It's like the really intangible things. Like, I was encouraged, I was cheered on. I felt like I found people that I could walk through this with. And, it's like, it's really hard to kind of like measure that or say it. And it's like what Peter was saying. I mean, we want to cultivate that as much as possible. But it's amazing how the people who have come along and been part of Acrylic University are so on board with that too. And there is a place where it's like, and I know that we'll fail. I know that even the other day, somebody I saw in the Facebook groups or somewhere, like they said they felt like they hadn't gotten much attention in the group chat or whatever. And there's always things that happen that where people fall through the cracks a little bit, or they don't, a picture doesn't get seen in the group. But by and large, it's amazing to have an encouraging community. And I'm just so thankful that you're part of it, Shannon, and that it's meeting you in a place of real, like, like there's because I'm excited for you too, because, like when a gift is there and it lies dormant for so long, I think like what you're saying is so true for so many. It's like so many people feel kind of like disempowered to pursue what is an actual gift for them. And they actually have like a lot of ability and a lot of, potential to be a professional artist or to, pursue it in a way. And yet it's like up here in our brains where we've shut it down. We've said, that's not for me. So I'm thankful for you, and I'm glad that you're on this journey.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that's come on and done these interviews with us, everybody that submitted like testimonies and all that stuff, because you guys help us communicate those intangible things that is harder for us to say. Like, Acrylic University is a funny place where you'll find love or something like that, right? It's hard for us to communicate those things, but hearing you guys say, like what David was saying, what you guys have echoed, like helps us communicate these intangible things, and hearing it from, not us, but you guys is super awesome and super empowering. So what is our journey like now, and how has Acrylic University made a difference?
Okay. First of all, I just want to say I have, since the fall when I signed up, I have 26, almost 27, 26 finished paintings. Finished. And
that
like
is awesome.
To me, that is a miracle. Like, I don't know, like I don't think that I have ever made 27, 26, whatever, finished paintings like in my entire, that's probably more than I've done in my entire life. And it's just like 4 months. And so like for me, that is huge. Like just to be able to like not have half done stuff sitting around, like just to be able to push through and like finish them and like look at them and say, I did it. And I, to be proud of each and every one of them for different reasons and different things that I've learned through them. And it's just like, I just am grateful that, it's to me, it's like, okay, it's working. Look, there's physical evidence that. Yes. But when I got to Acrylic University, it was like this, for me, it was like this breath of fresh air. It's like this perfect blend of like positivity mixed with possibility. And it's like Jed was saying things like, oh yeah, like you can totally paint a sky green if you want to, like as long as it's the correct value. And I'm like, like what? You know, like I can
Yeah.
do that, and that's not wrong, you know, and he was saying things like, oh yeah, like I use black in my painting sometimes. It's no big deal. And I'm like, okay, Jed Dorsey, you know, like master of light and color, uses black, you know, like his paintings are like the exact opposite of dull and lifeless. And I'm thinking, so like all of my paintings that I had done in my life, like maybe like they weren't garbage and like maybe it was like that magazine article was garbage. And so that was just like, you know, like huge to me. And it's like I started learning new things like right away, stuff I'd never heard, you know, like they were talking about like negative painting and like edges and reflective light and like turning planes and like number 5 on the value scale. And I was like what's a value scale? Like seriously, like I had to go buy one. Like I don't like this stuff. And it is all like I have so many gaps in my art knowledge. Like I've accumulated certain bits and pieces all along the way. And it's just, I am so excited and so grateful to just be able to like start like at Acrylic 101 and just like work through to be able to finally feel like I know what I'm doing. You know, it's like, because like I can, like for the most part, like transfer like a reference photo onto the canvas in a like a pleasing manner, but like I really can't tell you how I did that. Like I wouldn't be able to teach somebody like with actual like artistic language because I don't have it. And so I'm like so excited that I can like be able to like learn and somebody's teaching me. It's like it's helping me so much.
Yeah.
And the other thing is like I kind of view my artistic journey as like there's like this mountain, right? And it's like climbing a mountain. And I can see this big, beautiful mountain. And like I have no idea how to get up there, right? And but I know it's possible because like I know there are people like up there like right now like enjoying you. And it's like I don't know, like I was just it felt like I was like wandering around like, and I didn't have like the proper shoes and like I couldn't even find the trailhead, and it was like I was just so lost. And like I feel like when I joined Acrylic University, it's like I hired like a mountain guide, and you know, like Jed and Dianna are my mountain guides, and like they're like here are the supplies you need, and like they're giving me the training and teaching me the skills so that I can climb this mountain that I have like envisioned that I want to go to. And it's like and like the other members of Acrylic University are like the people you meet along the trail, and they're like, hey, how you doing? And they're like, you're doing so great, you know, you're doing awesome, keep going, you know, and everybody is so encouraging. And I just feel like I was rescued, you know, like I was so lost and scared and wandering around going, help, like what do I do? And like how do I do this? And like I feel like I've been scooped up by like this amazing group of people, and they said like, hey, like come with us, you know. It's like let's do this together, like you are not alone, like we've got this, you know. And it's like, and so now like I feel like my feet like are on the path, like, and like I don't know exactly how long the journey up the mountain will be for me, and I don't know what obstacles will be like along the way, but I know like if like I can keep putting like one foot in front of the other and like put in the effort, you know, you know, I feel like I'm going to get to where I want to be. And it's like, I know it's going to be challenging because climbing mountains isn't easy. And, but like, I feel like with Acrylic University, like, I feel like it's possible, you know, like And that's what AU has done for me. Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, Shannon, that is so cool to hear. And I just want to share a couple things that people were saying.
Yeah. Go for it.
Well, Nita says you are an encourager and are passing on your excitement and energy to all of us. I'm going to change something here, Peter, real quick so that I can flash these up on the screen.
Go for
it. But this is what it says. You are an encourager and are passing on your excitement and energy to all of us. And then Renee, of course, she says, love all our expression and enthusiasm. And then CP says, your metaphors are great. The zipper, which I was like, that makes so much sense. It's like such an interesting analogy, but it's perfect. And there was another one I saw here that says, oh yeah, well, this one's awesome.
Yeah.
OMG, I love her so much. Yeah, and then this one, look at this. Doug, Shannon, I was choked up earlier and just keep pushing my leaky washer. It's so true. Anyways, I think it's awesome. You know, you're really like hitting a lot of people because I think what you're able to express very well things that a lot of us have experienced too, you know, the encouragement of others and everything like that. And so anyways, yeah, I think it's cool just to see everybody's responses to you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's awesome.
Yeah, awesome. So Shannon, real quick, what would you tell someone who is considering joining Acrylic University?
Yeah, I would say, like, if you want to learn art at any level, beginner, intermediate, like advanced, like Acrylic University is for you. Like, you will not regret it. But specifically, I want to say, if there's anyone out there like me who can relate to my story, like you were that kid who just wanted to be an artist, I just want to say, please, please stop right now. Stop telling that kid that they're not good enough, or that they'll never make it, or that it's too late, or that their dreams don't matter, because like, just stop that, because like that's just mean, you know, like get the membership and give that kid a chance, you know, like we've got one life, like one shot, you know. It's like, yes, it may be challenging, and yes, it may take like a really, really long time to get from where you are right now to where you think you want to be. But I promise you, like a really, really long time is going to happen regardless. It's going to happen regardless. And you do not want to be like 110 years old looking back and saying, well, maybe that could have been me. It could have been me, but I was too scared. And I said no when I should have just said yes. You know, it's like your dreams are worth the price of a tank of gas per month. Like, your future in art is worth like the price of like one meal out at a restaurant. Like, if you are out there and you are feeling stuck and you are feeling lost or alone, come with us. Let's do this together. And I will meet you at the top of the mountain, because that is where we're headed. So thank you. And also because of Acrylic University, like I am so much happier now, and I have so much more confidence in myself. And I feel like now, like, I have an identity, you know, like I'm an artist, you know, like I am an artist. And it's like, so thank you so much, Acrylic University.
You're so
Oh.
welcome, Shannon. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Shannon. Thank you for sharing from your heart. Thank you for expressing so many things that are encouraging other people. I love your analogy of the kid. Like, because what I often think about that, I think about how life comes. It says every kid is an artist, right? Like I've seen that, right? Some of us just don't put down our crayons, right? Like, but a lot of us, because of, we weren't supported, or life came, like things happen, and it's not bad things. It can be really good things, a job, a career, it can be a family, it can be all sorts of, it's just responsibilities in life. But that kid is still inside of us, that kid that loves color and just wants to play and have fun and enjoy life and look outside and see things differently. And, like, there's so many things. And they say, when was the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago. What's the second best time right now? And that's kind of what you're saying is like, yeah, maybe it would have been awesome if I would have started 5 years ago, painting, then I'd be further along. But now is the time. Like, today's the day, right? To just go like, and then you'll look back in 5 years and go like, oh man, like, look at this tree's growing. Like, look at how great this is. And I'm excited because I love the analogy. I mean, all your analogies, I'm going to like live with these now in my head. The climbing the mountain one. But just beautiful. And I'm excited to be on the journey with you, and so proud of you.
I'm so excited. Yeah. Thank you.
So amazing.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Shannon. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us and for encouraging so many people. Chat absolutely, loved your interview and your analogies and stuff like that. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
See
awesome.
See you in
Bye,
the
Shannon.
Bye.
Hey, Jed, could you take over for a second? I'm going to see if I can get my camera to cooperate with me.
Yeah, and maybe I'll bring Dianna back on.
Yeah, go for it.
Dianna, do you want to hop back in Discord, and then we'll get your voice back in here, and we can get any feedback from you. You can tell us. I know that there probably will be some people that have some questions. I know that there are. Oh, hey, there you are. I can hear you. But just a second. Now I need to do something I need to just turn you on in the stream so they can hear you. Okay.
Okay.
Now we're good.
All right. Okay. We're good?
Yep.
Can you hear me? Okay. Well, I feel like I've every bit of this painting is sopping wet. There is no dry bit on here, and I've been painting on it for a long time. It's so thick. So I'm going to have to let it sit for a minute, or I'm just going to gunk it up. Here we go. Is that okay for me to come back here?
Yeah.
Because, oh my goodness, what a gunky mess.
Well, lots of people are looking at that and saying, Dianna, your painting is beautiful. The light is bursting from this painting. I saw, yes, so loose and free. Love the bold brushwork and textures created. Here's a question for you, Dianna, if you don't mind answer. Well, wait, whoops. Yeah. Oh, there's an it's gorgeous. Oh my goodness, they're going too fast. Let's see what, oh man. Yeah, let's see what this one says. I want to work toward Dianna's style that you're using today, textural and impressionistic. How does Dianna find people respond to this style compared to maybe something that's more smoother brushwork?
People really love this, and what I want to say about that is that people respond more. I mean, let me backtrack. People who don't know much about art say, I don't know much about art. I know what I like. And that is such an intuitive thing, because so many people like what came from my heart, what came from the part of me that, where brush mark and texture are integrated with what I really love. And so it's more finding your voice. And then people respond to the genuineness of your own mark making, your own voice. And yes, if you respond really hard to this kind of painting, that's probably something you want to explore. I've been exploring this really heavily textured painting style, you know, really exploring it for about 2.5 years. I mean, I've always painted thick and textural, no doubt about that, but I've been using this tool more and more, this color shaper. I forget, there's another name for it. I think it's just called a color blade, also with Catalyst, calls it a color blade. And what it does is you can't get perfect with it. And so I just kind of chop perfect out of the scenario a little bit because there's no way. And what that does is then I have to think of, I mean, you can't get perfect little detail. You kind of get in the ballpark. But what it does for me is it helps me to express more of what I've always wanted to express, which is the emotion of color and the emotion of light, rather than all the little detail.
Yeah, it definitely is beautiful, Dianna, and so many awesome comments here. I'll read one from Sharon. She says, "Beautiful, Dianna. I've loved watching every stroke build upon the others, and my eye shifts constantly back and forth between the painting and your reference photo. I'm amazed and feel so motivated." Now, somebody else earlier asked about your brand of paint, which is?
Mostly golden. I have a couple of tubes of this M gram when I can't find the golden colors I want. And then I also have some Winsor Newton. I feel like I'm kind of a spoiled child when it comes to paint. Can I tell a little bit of what happened to me the day I decided to quit oils and start acrylics? It was the most amazing miracle.
Yeah, please do.
A woman just called me who didn't know me. She said, "I heard," and this was the day I said I can't continue in oils, and I gave them all away. I was too sick, and I gave all my oils away. And this woman called and said, "I heard you're an acrylic painter," and I kind of looked at my watch and said, "Yeah, sure." She said, "Well, I have some paints I would like to give away. Would you like them?" And I said, "Yes, of course." And I took my big van to her house, and she filled it twice. It's a huge van. She filled it twice with crates of golden acrylic paint.
Wow.
And stretcher bars and tables for a studio and cabinets for a studio and rolls of canvas, big rolls of canvas, 8-foot stretcher bars. Lighting for a studio. I had a studio, but I didn't have all that stuff even when I was painting in oils. And it just felt like someone out there was saying, yes, paint in acrylics. And by the way, paint big. I had these 6 to 8 foot canvases to paint on. And they were all golden paints, and I got really spoiled with the high quality. I had tried acrylics in the past, and I had bought a little, like a student grade kit to take out, and it's like as soon as the paint dried, someone had turned the lights out and turned the colors off with the student grade paints. And then when I went back over the same paintings, I just covered them with the new golden acrylics. The lights came on, all the sparkling, dazzling light showed up where I wanted it to be. And that's my little story there. I love but high quality paint doesn't have to be golden, and it doesn't have to be every tube of your paint. The main tubes I've discovered that you really need to have high quality are your yellow and your white. And they, because you have to be able to layer them up and cover, and so they need to be rich and thick and opaque. I was thinking about this yesterday when people were saying, well, I was noticing in the chat, people were saying, well, is it okay if I use my student paints? Or they were saying, I know I should get better paints, but I just better use these up. And I was thinking about teaching a child to play piano. Would you get that child a little toy piano that goes ding, 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 ding? You would never. That child would never develop an ear for music if they learned piano on a toy. You'd get them the best quality instrument you could, or have access to the best quality instrument, so their musical ear would develop. And that's the way I feel about paint. You can't develop a good eye for color when you're using color that fades and disappears. So think about just getting a couple of tubes of professional paint, and when you can afford some more, replace a few more. You don't have to go, thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars or whatever it would cost all at once. But that woman gave me those paints almost 25 years ago. And I will never forget her generosity. And I will never, I never looked back on oils and said, gee, I wish I was still an oil painter. I love this. This is so much fun for me. I love this. This is just an absolute delight for me.
Well,
awesome.
It looks beautiful. Diana.
Yeah, it does.
It's fun to see.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, amazing.
I mean, seriously.
Peter, are you back with us?
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can bring me over again. There's a little bit of glare on my canvas this morning. I tried to block off all the light, but the unusual thing is the sun is shining right now. So my canvas has a little bit of glare on it, blocking some of the rich colors that I've done. So I'm going to try to
Jed, can you hear
block
me?
it off a little more, and maybe you'll see some of it's a little richer than I have. But maybe I can get it to...
Hey, Jed, can you hear me? The stream can hear me.
Yeah, you weren't in Discord. That was all.
Gotcha. Awesome. Yeah, it's good to be with you all. Rebecca says, "Hey, Peter, I love seeing you also finally." Yeah, it's good to see you. But yeah, wonderful. Awesome. Is there anything else we want to do, Jed, or?
I think that we're good. I mean, I don't know if you saw any questions, and because I couldn't hear if you were asking anything or anything, but I don't know if there's any questions that came through that we should get to. But other than that, I mean, Diana, thank you for this amazing demo.
Yeah.
It was really a delight for me to do it. I felt a little lost from time to time because I was so engrossed in hearing people's stories. I would just be, these stories are just so special. I love people's stories about painting anyway, and that in any way we have a small part in their journey. It's lovely. But if people do have more questions, join Acrylic University, because we've all put out some big, long, very detailed courses that can help you find the answer to just about any question you've got.
Absolutely.
What size was your canvas today, Diana?
16 by 12.
16 by 12.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it was on a wood pan, a raised wood panel. I kind of like painting this heavy texture with that on a wood panel, because it doesn't give, if you put your brush down with a big load of paint, you don't have to push into a canvas. And that is really nice. You don't have to put quite as much paint on. So that, it's good. I just sort of hunt around for the best bargain online and buy a bunch of them when I can find them.
Awesome.
Yeah, so awesome. I'm just flashing up a few things that are fun to see people.
Yeah.
Oh, look. Yeah, we're celebrating with you. Chris, amazing. I'm 65 and just starting to paint. The other night I thought to myself, my only regret is it's when it's my time will be that I didn't start this early in my life, but that's the thing, right? This is the best time to start. If you haven't already, this is the best time. And, you know, there's a lot of people who paint. One thing that's great about painting is it's not like basketball. I went and played basketball last night and my knee hurts again today. And I'm like, you know, I've got a certain amount of basketball games left in me, but I think I have a lot more paintings that I can do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Totally.
Man, well, I guess we should wrap it up.
Yeah, I wanted to say a couple things, or just one thing really. Make sure you guys are here at the celebration tomorrow. We're going to be celebrating the wonderful work of everybody in the masterclass, celebrating our time together and doing a kind of like a send-off sort of. So make sure you're there for that tomorrow. That's at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 7 p.m. Eastern if you're in Eastern time zone. And I think that's all for me. Also, I'll share some of I know some of you asked to see some of my paintings and drawings. I can share some in the community, in the Radiant community, sometime today. So, yeah.
And I'll try to post this one. I might do a few more little bits when it dries a little, but I'll make sure to post it today.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dianna. And guys, let's say bye like we always do. We do love you. We believe in you. We're so proud of you. We're so thankful for you. And it's our joy to be on this journey together up this mountain. And it's getting to be a better and better view all the time. And
absolutely.
So thank you for being part.
Yeah. Love you guys. We believe in you. And we will see you tomorrow night. Goodbye.